My name is Carol, and I have a friend here with me today, and I'm going to tell him a story, and hopefully you too. Okay, this story is originally told by Paul Harvey. Now this is he's told it. A minister from Boston, Dr. Gordon, had an empty birdcage on his pulpit. The people wondered what he was going to do with this empty birdcage. And so he told this story about a little boy who had this birdcage with a bunch of scrawny little birds. And so he asked the little boy, "Where'd you get the birds at?" He says, "I captured them, and I put them in my cage." And then the pastor asked him, "And what are you going to do with them?" The little boy says, "I'm going to play with them and play with them and play with them." The pastor, knowing little boys, he told him, he says, "But you can't play with them forever. When you get tired of them, what are you going to do?" And the little boy says, "I have a cat who likes birds. I'll just give it to him, and he'll probably kill them." "Oh," the compassionate pastor said, "how much do you want for these birds?" The little boy says, "You don't want these birds. They're scrawny looking. They're good for nothing." But the pastor insisted, and so the boy said, $3. And so the pastor reached in his pocket and gave him $3. The pastor took the birds, opened the door, and one by one he let them out. And that's how he got the empty birdcage. Now the pastor says it's also the way things is with God. Satan had the people. And God asked him, "What are you going to do with them?" And Satan says, "I'm going to tease them. I'm going to make them get married and then divorce. I'm going to give them fires and earthquakes. And I'm going to give them tornadoes." And he kept on saying all of the things that he was going to have them do. And then God says, "And what are you going to do with them after you're done with all that?" And Satan says, "I guess I'll just release them." God, compassionate God, says, "How much do you want for these people?" Satan says, "You don't want these people. They're mean. They're not good for anything. They would only torture you, and they would hurt you, and they will hurt your son." God says, "How much do you want?" And Satan says, "Okay, I want your son and all his tears and all his blood." God, our loving God, agreed. And so he purchased the people from Satan, and they became free from sin. Thank you for listening to my story.